check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Well, hello.
Well, hello, Michael Moore. Welcome to you and to our viewers to Highly Uncircumcised.
Welcome to you as well, and to our viewers as well. Nicole Juergens. I love how you use my last name.
I was just talking to Michael Moore prior to us pressing record, and he was telling me how his mother loves to watch a show, and she's like, "When's another episode gonna drop?" He's like, and we were saying
What's up, Mom?
we just watched our own episode, both of us, from yesterday. And we don't get how no one else wants to watch us. We just don't get it.
so you know this, but I'm gonna share this with the viewers. I feel like I'm actually going a little bit crazy because I wait for the new episodes to come out each week as though I am 100% unaware of what is going to be said. And I promise you, when I watch them, I'm not watching them thinking I'm about to say this or that. I'm like, wow, really? You think that? And I was like, oh, Nicole thinks that? Like, that's so interesting that she said that.
I don't remember when she said that.
Did she say that? Like, I can't believe it. And then I pick up little things like things you said that I didn't pick up when you said it. And I'm like, man, I wish I was on the thing right now. I'd say something right now.
Oh, and you have a better retort now.
Yes, I'm like, well, that's horrible.
Hindsight is 2020. You know, you can bring it up now. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Go ahead.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was that good. It was that. Shut up. So
right now,
listen.
When I watch this, I'm gonna be like, I should have said something. I could have said. Damn it.
The loop. It's the loop. Why didn't I tell her? Oh. So this week, what's going on in the world out there, Michael Moore, for you this week? I know personally you're like, no. Do you want to share any of it with anybody?
Man, can I just tell you that I'm typically an upbeat person. You know, when my personality is in full, swing, I can be, pretty life of the party-ish, pretty engaging and, pretty. I love your face because I can just imagine all the things you're thinking right now about how I'm.
All the things I can't say on here that I would be saying in person.
But really, I'm just like, you know what, man? Fuck everything. And I have been for about a week or two. I don't know if it shows up on the stream or whatever, but I'm just like, eh. Matter of fact, I almost called you today. I'm just going to get real personal with the viewers. I almost called you today to tell you, like, Nicole, I don't want to do this. I'm done. I was that but then I was like, no, that.
But then you showed up and I smiled and you were just like, it's a ray of sunshine. And look at you now.
I was just oh, I now know my purpose.
Thank God I did not quit.
It's simply, I wasn't going to quit. Like I'm done forever. It was more like, I just don't want to do it today kind of thing.
Well, let's unravel that a little bit, shall we? Should we unpack that? Because I feel like, and I know you have personal family issues that you're not going to discuss, and we all have family issues sometimes anyways, but the idea that alone is what's making you entirely feel this way, I feel is not it, even though I know you think it is. I think it's just the general collective entire nature of our reality right now too. It's like, I don't know if you're adding that in there, the stuff that I'm saying all the time. I think you're feeling it, but it's an outlet into this, family issue you're having right now.
Well, I feel like I just laid down on the couch and you're sitting in your chair with
I therapized
cup of coffee and you're just like, so tell me, how do you feel about that?
How do you really feel?
That'll be $800 for the hour. No, you know what? I actually agree with you 100%. I'm definitely having some family issues, but those family issues are becoming less and less important to me.
Oh,
what?
I thought you were going to say less and less issues, but no, just less.
Oh no, the issues are just what the issues are. It's more just like I'm just getting more and more like I don't care. Like whatever. Everybody can just.
And I would say that's not true, but okay. In this moment, you need to say that to get yourself.
I can tell you that I know that you know me, and you probably believe that, and for good reason. But I would tell you that
I can tell
wrong.
you that you know that I know that you know that I know you, and I can tell you that I'm right. So listen here. I think this is indicative of everybody now, though. That's the thing. I mean, I just read an article about, I've read multiple articles throughout all of this pandemic response. And again, for those who are living in Texas right now and not having to deal with this, congratulations. I'm so happy for those who are still living.
Like fully open or something?
Yeah, I mean, in Florida, right? They've all been fully opened.
Florida never closed. But.
They're, we still have this ridiculous response every day. It's something new. You'd think it should be, dead now, but bad choice of words. It should be done now. But this, I think, and it's just like a constant assault on your like reality, and then on top of it, to have issues with the people that you love who are all you've had during all of this time, right? And I think it does matter. I've read articles, I was starting to say, like from different like Academy of Psychology and all of this, and about how our mental illness is going, skyrocket. Well, of course, like, what do you expect? Just today, The Hill is like, oh, there's more, mental pain, like, and the fact that they never correlate this to anything that's going on in society right now. I'm just like, what world do I live in? Where do I live? Like, of course,
I'm not in that world right now, so I have no idea.
You are in that world, and that's why, on top of everything else, when your family adds, issue to it, it's just like, okay, that's it. It's the straw that broke the camel's back, And for me, it was when my daughter got contact traced and sent home from school and is crying when she has to go home. I'm not sick. Why do I have to go home? Right. And I had a bad freaking weekend that after that day, because that was just my straw. Right. I think a lot of us don't realize that it's, we've come to these breaking points without even realizing it. We're so good at distracting ourselves and numbing ourselves and running away from the feelings. Right. It's so easy because we have Netflix and we have movies and we have video games and we have whatever we need to keep us comfortable in the moment without having to really think through the shit that we need to think through and process. And so when it finally hits home that you have to deal with something, it's fucking hard, because it's been almost 2 years now of this crap. So I feel, I know that you know that I know that you know, but I definitely know that your family is very, very important to you. And whatever you're going through, you're going to get through it. Don't shake your head like that. Don't shake your head like that. Your mom's gonna be very mad. Very mad.
I'm not done. My mom is literally one of the top 2 most important people to me on earth. But
I'm not
done. After that, it's honestly not.
Listen.
It's not what you think. Even though you know that I know that you know.
Listen.
That I know that you know. Even though I really know what's really going on.
It's going to be good. Once I know you. Once you get in a room, and hug it out.
There'll never be another room.
Okay, all right. You cannot talk right now. I'm going to talk to the viewers.
You've been talking for
in
the
like
last
10
minutes.
In like 6 months. I'm going to revisit this with our viewers, and Michael's going to be like, my family and I are all perfect. We have the best relationship. They came over for this holiday, and
no chance. I won't even be around for the holidays. I've already had trips planned.
But listen, can you
get away from them?
Can you fathom that? The entire like collective, I don't want to say insanity, the collective uncomfortableness can play a part in all of this, can push over the edge anything that would in a different situation maybe have been minor. And not just for you. How about for your family members who are a part of it, right? No. Not just you.
So I appreciate that you're positive and all that good stuff, and that's great. But the pandemic and all the surrounding lunacy and chaos and ridiculousness of everything going on honestly doesn't really affect me. because I've always been a very sort of closed person anyway. Like I enjoy solitude. I enjoy being by myself. I enjoy going to movies by myself and playing golf by myself. And I have no problems being alone. I never have. So hanging around with people and doing stuff with anyone, family, friends, or other, for me is just like icing. It's not the thing. Like there's some people that just literally have to be around people and have to have, you know, interaction and engagement and all that kind of stuff. No, the issues that I have with so-called family is really just it's personality and character stuff. Meaning I suppose my personality or who I am doesn't jive with certain people. And I've gotten to the point in my life where that's fine because it's just been years of, you know, back and forth. For instance, I was having a real unemotional conversation with my wife the other day. And we were just talking about like, you know, a lot of this stuff. And a thought hit my mind, which was, and this was a real like salient, logical, again, unemotional thought. And that is, I literally made a list of people who, if God forbid something happened to me, I was in some accident or I had some heart attack or I had some stroke, something that put me in the hospital for, you know, for really critical reasons. I told my wife, I literally listed like 5 people that are allowed to visit me if they want to. I mean, obviously I couldn't make anybody visit me, but literally like people who are allowed to come in the room and see me if they so choose. And outside of my home,
Was I on that list?
you were. In all seriousness, you were one. Outside of the 5 people that are in my home, my wife and kids, there were 5 people that I listed, and my mom was one of them. And after that, there was literally not one family member that I said, you know what, yeah, this person can come see me, and I mean it. I absolutely positively mean it. Like if there's one
in this moment.
No, I mean I'm honestly, Nicole, it's kind of like getting in shape. It's like, you know, you start at 300 pounds, and then when you get to 260 pounds, you're not the same person that you were at 300 pounds. Meaning like you have, there are things about you that you didn't even realize, good and bad, right? You're probably more confident, but you also probably know more about the insecurities you probably had that you have to shake off. Um, you literally just feel better emotionally and obviously physically. Like there's just a metamorphosis that goes on in that process of working out and getting healthy and all of that. And the reason why I say that is because I liken this situation to that. I started out at a certain place 5 years ago. I'll just throw out a random number, 5 years ago, and I have evolved into something different 5 years later. I don't have any, like I was always the fix it guy. I was always the peacemaker. I'm the one who's always been very quick to apologize if I feel like I've wronged somebody. I've never felt too big to apologize to anybody. And that includes my daughter when she was like 2 years old. I'll never forget. She did something really silly, long story short. And it was such a 2-year-old thing. I mean, it was so, and now that I think about it, and she's 17, about to graduate high school, literally I can tear up just thinking about it because of my response. I spanked her little hand, I swatted her hand because she did something. And she just kind of walked off and went to her room. And she had this little tiny little Hello Kitty table that we had for her and little tiny little chairs for a 2-year-old. And she went and sat down. And I thought about it for a minute after I gave her that little swat on the hand, which wasn't horrible, but anytime you inflict pain on your kids, it just feels devastating to you as well. And I walked back there with my big, 6'5", 300 something pound self at the time. And I sat down in one of these little tiny little chairs that I am absolutely surprised did not buckle under me, but anyway. And I just looked at her and I said, Naomi, I'm sorry, Daddy's sorry. You know what she did? She just put her head down in her hands on the table and just like started crying. You could tell she was just so devastated that this guy that she knew loved her had hurt her anyway. And I just apologized to her as a 2-year-old. And the reason why I sat down, the reason why I'm giving you that story is because the sitting down part for me was huge, because I wanted to put myself on her level. I wanted her to see, like, I'm going to get down here with you. Like, I'm not some big bad godlike figure that is too big to apologize. And I give you that story to let you know that's my philosophy on how I deal in life. Like, I will tell you I'm sorry. I mean, you and I have been through enough stuff for you to know my heart is usually pretty soft. I mean, I'm not a very hard person.
I think there's something to be said too about the idea of, I mean, I think everything you've said is of course, and I think we're at an age where we're going through a lot of transition anyways, like you say, metamorphosis. But also I think there's this battle within ourselves too, is our relationships with our family, like, are you supposed to be best friends because you're brothers or sisters, or and I don't.
And my mind changed on that as well. I was always the guy that was really like, it's family first. But the truth is, family are people, right? So Hitler had a family too, right? Were they supposed to just love and support him because he was family? Give me a break. And I know that's obviously an extreme example. I don't have any Hitlers in my family, but all I'm saying is that everybody is somebody, right? And if you're not in my family, people are going to take a look at certain people in my family and be like, oh, that guy's a jerk, or that girl's a jerk, or that person's really awesome, or that guy's really awesome. So I've really started just to look at people like, how would I see this person if we didn't have the same blood flowing through each other's body? Would I really want to be around this person? Would I really want to be friends with this person? And to me, there are friends that can be much closer and more supportive and more loving and more productive in your life than someone who just simply carries your last name. And so I'm just not the guy anymore that's gonna be like, oh, that's he or she is family. So yeah, it's all good. They're fine.
I agree with everything you're saying. No, but the only reason why I say you think that for now is because I understand also how close you and your family have been, and see obviously how much it's hurting you right now, since you're saying,
but it's not. I'm telling you, it's not.
Okay, you're saying that, but also you're saying that you're going through this terrible. So obviously, whether or not you say it's not, it's clearly affecting you in a way, right? Like, if they truly didn't matter to you, you truly wouldn't matter. Like, you would literally just be going on your life and like, whatever. Oh, if I talk to him, I talk. If I don't, I don't. But the fact that it is affecting your life to the point where, like, I don't even want to do my podcast today because I can't. Right?
But no. You're presuming that. I never said that. You just happen to know the issues with family because you and I had a conversation last week.
Do you have different issues? Because you said this was your life sucks, and I assumed that's what you're.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the family stuff.
Well, what else do we need to talk about? Jesus,
I'm just like
JFC. Do you know what that stands for? Jesus fucking Christ! What do we need to talk about? I need to therapize you even more. Like, oh my. Francis, don't watch this part. That's his mom.
Mom. I met her.
Lay down on the couch and tell us everything. What happened? What is going on?
First of all, God forgive you.
Oh, thank you. I'll repent later. Don't worry.
Yeah, please repent. You're a horrible human. Anyway, listen. No, I think I'm just I was gonna say bored, but bored is not the right word. I think I'm just a little disheartened. Just life has just changed so much over the last couple of years. It's so really, when I say this, I'm being really, really honest with you. It's honestly not the family stuff. Like, if the majority of other stuff that I'm probably thinking about were to just not yet. Hold tight, please. If the majority of that other stuff were just to do an about face and change, then I would be like just as vibrant as you've ever seen me before. So no, it's not the family thing. You in the back of the class.
So is it perhaps, as I mentioned in the beginning, the idea of this collective change.
No,
our
because
COVID.
you're being specific to the pandemic and its effects on the psyche of humanity.
It's caused a
And it
major
may be
shift.
causing me the dissonance that I feel right now, but it's an indirect thing. Meaning, like, if I was driving down the freeway in my brand new Ferrari and I was only able to go 5 miles an hour because there's a car wreck 2 miles ahead, I'm still in my brand new Ferrari and have a decent life, but you are seriously impeding my ability to get where I need to go. So that's how I would liken the pandemic to what's going on in my life. Again, the solitude or being shut down and locked away and all that kind of stuff. Like,
No, I don't
was
think that's
built
it,
for
because
that. It's not-
me too. I'm very okay being alone. I always
Well,
have
it
been.
actually surprised me that you were as okay as you are, because
No,
before
because
the
I
pandemic, I
can
would have
be.
bet that you would have, like, just folded shop, with everything.
No, it's not being alone. It's never been a problem for me. I mean, I'm very, I don't know, what's the word in between extroverted, ambivert, right? Like
I've never heard that word before. That's new to
yeah,
me.
it's like it's when you take those tests, I'm always like right on the line between extrovert and introvert. It makes sense because I can
I'm an
derive
extrovert.
my energy from both places, although I cannot do either forever. I do need to talk to people at some point, and I do need to be alone at some point.
Well, I'm the exact same way.
Well, right. So that's what I'm saying, that the idea of these policies, that's not really it. It's not the fact that you have to, it's, I want to say it's like the shift in consciousness. It's the idea that you can now see, like the stuff that we've talked about in the reality, that you can see through the reality that we're currently living in, like our policies through our government. And like we were talking about the war on drugs and all this stuff in the shitty way it's portrayed, that we always just lived with and we had this comfortable life, but now you see it and it somehow affects you differently, right? It's now it's dealing with that in our consciousness. That's what's really messed me up. It's not the policies that you have to stay home. It's this shift. And then on top of that, it's a shift in other people's that I butt up against, people who think completely opposite of me, who are scared of everybody and don't get close. And and I'm like, whoa, what's happening?
Okay, but let me stop you for a second. Let me broaden your horizons. Now add to that equation being Black in America. Okay. And maybe I just got real deep on you, but I think everything you just thought, and I have the added burden, I think is the right word, of knowing that I live in a place where there are a good majority of people that literally just hate me or hate me potentially being successful, or don't want me to have an equal slice of the pie of opportunity. And the reason why I say that is because I was watching a program, was it yesterday? And it doesn't even matter what I was watching, but one guy called another guy a nigger, right? And the guy that called the guy the nigger was a white guy calling a Black guy.
Is this a documentary? What is this?
No, this is actually a drama, right?
Django Unchained? What was it?
Django. How old is Django? There's been many movies with the word nigger in it since Django.
That's the only one I've seen where they actually said it, unless it's rap music
kidding?
or a movie.
No,
that's the only movie.
This was the Sopranos movie, the new Sopranos movie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you ever watched The Sopranos, but I was a huge fan of The Sopranos. But anyway, and the reason why, and probably never before, even with Django, because I actually like that movie, it bothered me. It really bothered me because I was thinking, the Black dude can't really do anything to defend himself. I mean, you can come back and you can say all the FUs in the world, and you can even fight and you can throw fists and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, the guy calling you the nigger still had the power. And that was the case. And honestly, almost never before have I been
I have a
so
question.
Yes.
Why does he have the power?
Because he's white in America. And he has police behind him. He has politics behind him. He has money behind him. He has privilege behind him. He has every advantage that this country offers someone of European descent that it does not offer someone of African descent.
But you have money and power and a good family and an education
Yeah,
and
those are all very relative statements. I mean, I have money compared to, a homeless or destitute person. Sure.
you have a lot
Have
more money
compared-
compared to what are you talking about?
I'm just saying. I mean, that's very like subjective. Like you have money. Okay, yeah, I literally have some money, but it's not like I could go buy a private island.
But I
you
just
know?
wonder, so like when you tell me that story and you say like he has a power because of all this, like to me, when I hear that story, I think he sounds like a fucking idiot. Like he sounds like he has no power, and that's his only way of deriving power is by using that word. But you're giving him the power, saying that he has it because he's used this word against the guy.
He has the power because he has the power.
He does not. I
mean,
mean,
simply put.
it's so you can see how perception matters, right? How you perceive life
But I'm
matters.
giving you the perception of 13% of this country. Sans the few that
So if this
don't
guy,
have that
so
Huh?
okay, I've had in my life where people have thought of me, not they don't have this N word for women, but they have a C word. They have, and I've had in my life where people have called me, but all I think is gross. Like it
but
never at any
Nicole-
point do I think you have power, and that's the thing is like we get to decide, like because
no. Let me just tell you. First of all, there is no word in the English language as disgusting, as provocative, as powerful as the N-word. There's just no word. I would just never accept that from anybody. Nobody can make a case for me. I'm telling you right now, that's literally like I'd have the most rigid view you ever conceived of, ever trying to argue with me that there's a word as powerful as the N-word. It evokes such a response within you wouldn't understand this because you're just not Black, and it's not a problem, but you just won't understand. Just like honestly, I won't understand the how you may feel with the C word. Like I hear that word and I'm just like, ah, that's such a stupid word. Like
so maybe
I don't even
we
get
can
it, to be
both
honest.
understand and see
But
it. How
women weren't dying and being hung from trees and having their balls literally cut off and their ears cut off and
no, but
being
women
whipped
still
and-
are slave traded and are
It's just-
it's not
get it. I
that
have-
different.
I know it's much different. I have daughters, I have a wife, I have a mother, I have sisters-in-laws. Believe me, I'm a fan of women, and I understand what you're saying. And that's all terrible. It doesn't even hold a candle to the Black experience, to the triangle slave trade.
And I'm not
all the
trying to
400
dismiss
years
the
of
Black
history.
experience, but what I'm trying to get to is your experience now. And like if you're still watching that and somehow think that in our society somebody who calls somebody else a name has any power, I just don't see it that way. I think it just shows their complete lack of intelligence.
You know why it has power, Nicole? Because again, that word evokes such hurt and anger and such a visceral response internally that for me, and I've heard this actually argued by other people as well, so it's not just my original thought, that word honestly needs to be, you should legally be able to physically defend yourself should someone use that word. That's how powerful I think that word is. And I don't think there's another word in the English language that even comes close to that argument, meaning like you would never get me to argue that any other word in the English language deserves actual physical retribution. So why does that give that person power? Because now if you empathize for a second, if you just take off your white cap and you put on your Black I Love Mike cap, if you understand now how deep that word is for me, then you understand why the person has power, because they can say that word and I literally want to just pull all the skin off of their body and just fillet them. But knowing that I have a lot to lose in terms of money, in terms of home, in terms of, job opportunities and all that kind of stuff, they have power because they can say something to evoke such an emotional response that really cannot be responded to. That's power.
Again, And I don't need to have a different color skin to understand or empathize with your experience. I understand it 100%. Again, they have power because you're giving it to them, because you're upset at some loser. And that's why they do it. That is why they do it. That's the power. It has nothing to do with a patriarchy or a white man, but it's somebody who knows that they can elicit that response from you. They're probably fucking weak. They probably would go down with one punch. Maybe you should do it one time, because they know that's the only power they have. But you're giving it to them by letting them make you upset like that.
I hear what you're saying. I hear your argument. I know that it's a.
And I think you should punch him. You should. Logical, why not?
Well, because I go to jail.
Who said?
And I don't. It's assault.
I thought in California that it's so fucking liberal. You probably can kill him for that word.
No, the police. That's the whole point, Nicole. The police would love to take me to jail. They would love to. If you and I were walking down the street in Huntington Beach, which really honestly used to be a neo-Nazi haven. Huntington Beach was horrible for a long time, so it wouldn't even be so improbable that I would hear something like that. If you and I were walking down the street in Huntington Beach, and some guy was pissed off because you and I were walking down the street, and he just couldn't stand seeing me with you and you with me, and he said that, and I punched him, the Huntington Beach police would literally come shackle me and throw me in jail for first-degree assault, and they would throw the book at me, because that's the country we live in. It wouldn't be, this guy deserves it. No freaking chance. No chance. The only chance I might have for not getting the book thrown at me is if the officer happens to be black and he's not trying to impress some white officer that's with him.
I'll be your lawyer. You want me to do your closing speech?
No, we all know what your we all know what your closing.
Officer, let me do the closing speech. Let me do the close. So, officer, we were walking in Huntington Beach, and we were just having this beautiful day, and the birds were flying, and we could see seals jumping in the water, and we were skipping along the sand, and out of the blue, this guy yells out the N-word, and it made the whole day the most disastrous day that you've ever seen. The clouds literally turned gray.
Such a beautiful day.
The clouds literally turned gray. I think it started to rain a little bit. And yes, Michael Moore turned around and punched him with all the force that he could muster. The guy was so weak that he literally fell over dead. It was a very unfortunate moment, but we cannot say it was not warranted. And now, members of the jury, now imagine that he was white. You'd get off in a second, right? I mean, that's no problem.
For those of you in the audience that have seen A Time to Kill, Nicole
movie.
Just did her best rendition of Matthew McConaughey's closing argument for Samuel L. Jackson. Yes. We should all just applaud her right now.
Who, by the way, killed the abusers of his daughter in front of everybody and got off. Of course, it's fiction, but it was really good.
Yeah, but that was because America loves
Mississippi.
That was because America loves their guns, so they could stand behind him shooting somebody, but let them call Samuel L. Jackson the N-word and then he punches him and kills him. He would already have been in the electric chair. You're usually on death row for about 10 or 15 years, so he would have died like last year.
Well, how about working out? Have you been working out every day still?
Every day. Oh, well, no, not every day, but I take 2 days off a week. But I mean, come on, man, are you crazy? Look.
That's good. That'll help with the, this mental health crisis we have in this world. Oh, okay, all right, good, okay.
You want me to stand up?
No,
because you actually haven't even seen me.
No, I don't want
since June when I started back on my program.
June. How long ago was that? June, July, August, September, October, already 3 months. That's the thing this.
I take pictures of myself every month, by the way. So I'm planning on next May or June, basically sending you 12 pictures of me.
We'll put them on Highly Uncircumcised. We'll show you.
We'll talk about that.
We'll give you the time lapse. That's the thing about COVID time is that it seems to drag on, but then all of a sudden it's just gone too. It's like what I got 2 puppies during COVID. The youngest is 1. He turned 1 this week. Oh, you want to see him? He's so cute. I gotta show you. He's just so
Oh,
cute.
Cheeto is one?
He
I thought you
just
were talking
turned
about
no,
Sushi.
the
How old is
youngest.
Sushi?
Sushi is almost 19 months now.
Oh, wow.
Or 18.
Man.
Yes, she is 19 months now. That's the thing. That's what I mean. Like COVID time is like, what? How did this even happen? Let me show you how cute this picture is of him. I'm gonna share this with you. He's so cute.
Do they still go crazy when you walk out the front door, by the way?
No, they're much better now. Like that was it. Look at him. Oh, my baby. He's
Oh,
1 year
wow.
old now already.
Wow.
I know that's
He looks all serious.
he looks like he's like dangerous, but he's like the biggest sweetheart, the biggest love. But I mean, that's why they look just like little wolves now. But that's what I mean about COVID time. Like I got him the end of November last year, and he's already 1. I mean, this is like, where did this time
That's
go?
crazy, because I remember when you first got Sushi and I came over and she like tried to bite me with her little baby teeth, and I was just like, oh my God.
She was
this is my
playing,
dog
by
ever.
the way, not biting. This is what they do.
Oh, no,
They
she didn't
treat-
like me. She was trying to bite me.
Mike said that Sushi's racist.
you had
Everybody
a
is
racist
not
dog.
racist,
The
okay?
dog was racist. No, she and I did develop a relationship, but that's like the guy you were talking about on the podcast last week that goes and finds the Klansman and they sit down and talk. I kept coming by. I kept coming by to spend time with you and the dogs. And after a while, Sushi was like, hey, I think this guy is here to stay. And we had a little talk, and she,
And it has nothing to do with the color of your skin. Sushi is like that, just
as
like
she found
me.
out she hates men.
She hates
So it wasn't
she
just
hates
black guys.
everybody in the beginning. Everybody. You ask my half sister Macy when she came over, like, oh, everybody. She takes time to warm up. Then once she knows you, you can't get rid of her. So that's like me. See, you're like, you can't just get right in. You gotta show up, keep showing up. Prove that you're trustworthy, full of integrity, honest. You got to see all
And then
this.
you're like, Nicole,
And none of that
I need
has to
some
do
space.
with the color of your skin. None of it. Like that's the thing.
well, I guess you are kind of like that in a sense. Yes, I think our relationship did develop from just like, but you were very standoffish with everybody. I think anybody who's close
Thank you.
to you
It's like
at the
sushi.
casino,
It's like sushi.
hold on, I'm going to say this. I think anybody that's gotten close to you at the casino over the last few years probably can thank me for that. I think I opened your eyes to actually being able to have a friend that you met at the bike. Because you were really kind of just like, you would just kind of look. And I would be like, and you would just be like, and then one day you were like, and then you're like, hey, sunshine, how you doing? And I was like,
Considering I was a host
win.
there, I'm pretty sure that I talked to a lot of people without just staring at them meanly. But you were definitely like my first good friend there. And that's even in 17 years. I always said, the first 12 years, I was never close. It was always just acquaintances. It was not like, and I never really liked anybody enough to want to build friendships.
First of all, guys are always saying stupid stuff to you too, like trying to hit on you and all.
Yeah, and I wasn't interested. But also, I am like I said, I am like Sushi in that way. Like I'm very. People have told me in many times that they thought I was a bitch before they met me. I'm like, how do you think that before you meet somebody? Like apparently I just have a resting bitch face, or I'm just, I am standoffish. Maybe I don't mean to be, but it does take time. But then, yeah, now you try and get rid of me. Try it. See what happens.
I'm just like, is that Nicole calling? Oh my God. Tell her I'm unavailable.
Esther, answer the phone.
Tell her I'm in jail. I'll call her in 3 to 5.
Well, do you feel like you have been therapized at all? Is any of this?
I have definitely, this has been a cathartic, therapizing. It's always good to talk and just get some stuff off of you. You probably saved a life today. I don't know whose, but I was certainly in a way where it's kind of like, I didn't want to be cut off on the road today. I didn't want to be brushed by or have someone step on my feet or anything like that. I'm sure that you have allowed much more grace and mercy to be disseminated from me, even though I'm literally light years away from you right now.
That's where I need to be. I want to be light years away forever. You ever want just like an
Do it.
asteroid to just come and like just
Take out Earth.
do it now?
Yes, just take everything. Oh Lord, I'm ready. I'm ready. Just send a comet the size of Alaska and let it hit California. Let us all just disintegrate peacefully in the name.
The whole state of California. Everyone else can be fine, but this whole state.
Oh
take
no,
it away.
I just want to be at ground zero so we don't feel anything. No, I want everybody gone.
Yeah.
Everybody.
No, I just want this state. But I think also when we get to this point in life, we have to know that it's more than, and this is what I was trying to bring up with, your family or whatever issue, it's always racism, whatever it is, there's always so much more behind it. And it's just probably more than likely I keep trying to tell myself as a,
By the way, I wanted to say something, and this is one of those things that I'm catching.
I mean, I didn't call on you, but okay, go ahead.
I need to say it before I forget it because I almost forgot it before. So I want to make this very clear. Racism doesn't just bother me because I don't like it and because, I'm Black and I just don't like racist white people and racist anybody, right? It's not like white people own racism. I honestly really don't like racism and it bothers me to no end because I feel the exact opposite way of people who are racist. And for me, it really just gets under my skin because I'm like, I don't even get you, dude. Like, I take everybody at face value. If you are a good person, you are just a good person. If you are a bad person, you are a bad person. So that is really my issue with racism, is not just a sort of selfish look at it like, oh, I don't like people that don't like me. That's not what it's about. I'm just like, God, figure out some other reason why you don't like me. Hate me because I'm so awesome. Just, don't hate me because I don't look like you, because it's going to be very hard for me to look like you because I look like me.
And you're very proud of it.
I didn't say it.
Listen,
Superman,
and that's
Clark Kent.
and that's basically all, everything we are hurting about in life when, what we see doesn't match up with reality, right? But also I think you just, again, like this guy yelling the word to somebody, it's like when we see something like that hurts us so much, it's like we can choose to own the power of the situation and just choose to be like, wow, that is really, really sad. Like, that guy is sad. And because how much better you are, like
I'm gonna have to grow.
This
I'm
guy,
gonna have to grow. To get to that point, I
know you're already there. You're just not in that moment right now. That's it, and that's the thing. Like, I try to remind myself, because I've been in those moments so many times for the last fucking 20 months, so many low times of seeing like the way things are portrayed and the way things are talked about or the way we are running our, and I'm just like, what is happening to our society? And then I have to remember, like, no, it's going to be what we make it. Like, we are society. Like, we do hold the power, and it doesn't just happen to us without our say, whatever it is, whether it's who has the power or whatever else. But it's also, every single day, the choices that we make and how we're going to live and how we're going to lead. Like I said, you have everything already. So why give them the power to make you feel bad at all? Like, show them love. Like, try and give love in those situations. Like, wow, imagine the life that somebody had to live that think that they could use this word or somehow think that this word is powerful. Like, imagine how sad they were, probably bullied their whole life, or, like, maybe they don't have parents that love them. Maybe that, like you have lived an existence like so much better than that. Like, you can't spend any time thinking about people like that.
Well, you know what? I hope that I could one day get to a very thin place like that where, because I'm not really sure how many words really affect me. Like, I think that it's that one, and I can't even think of another one. But yeah, I wouldn't mind getting to a place where someone didn't have that power over me, because they really do. I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, if you, I mean, you know me. If somebody used that word at me, I mean, I used to tell you, who was my best freaking friend, like, I don't want to hear it. Don't say that word, like even in jest.
Oh, don't
with me.
say I might say
No,
that
no, no,
word.
I'm saying, no. I'm not saying that you said it. I'm saying that I've had discussions with you where I've told you, like, I just don't want to hear the word, because we've had mutual friends who are Black that we use that word, and I would tell you, like, I don't like hearing it from anybody. So it's yeah, no. Nicole Jurgens does not subscribe to the use of the N word for our 62
If only they know. If only they know the whole truth and nothing but the truth. But I mean, the point is, when you know somebody's heart completely, then words don't matter, right? I mean, and that's what I mean about.
If you can get to that place, yes.
Yes. And imagine that, even, again, with the Black man and the Klansman, like him putting him in that space, himself in that space every day. Like, if he can do it, we can do it.
He's another level. I mean, when I first saw the documentary on that guy, I was just like, certain things just give me anxiety. And I was just, my blood pressure had to go up watching that. I was just like, that guy, wow. I mean, he's amazing.
Truly changing the world, right? Leading with love, one person at a time. I think, again, too, that's another thing, is we get so overwhelmed with all the shit going on, right? And then our family, and then this, and then that, right? Like, choosing one thing, and he just has this is what he does, right? Like, one KKK guy at a time, and just choose to love him. Like, that's amazing. And he's changing the world that way. Like, that's crazy.
I would show up and I'd be like, I'm here to love you and just show you another side of,
and he was an N-word.
He'd be like, N-word, and I'd be like, motherfucker, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to jail. That's a shame. No, but good on that guy. I mean, honestly, I there's, a few people that just after 5 minutes can impress you, and I was like blown away when I saw this guy's story. And that guy's like 95%, by the way, like 9.5 out of 10 Klansmen that he meet literally change their ideology on race and all that stuff. So it's amazing the work
changes
that he's doing.
The world. Hate doesn't. Love does. And that's what, like, one person at a time, literally, but changing the world. Like, that's some big shit.
You're wearing a hat that says California Love while you're talking about an asteroid destroying California, right?
Blow it up. The whole state of California. The people here don't love. I mean, that's not fair. The whole state is not full of bad people, but the policies that are driven by the people that have voted for here is so there's a large contingency that are
you and
not
I
my
live
people, not my people.
You and I live in California, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I can't advocate for something to be blown up if I'm not going to be in it. Then it's okay. I'm here. Blow me up too. I'll take it. I'll take one for the team. My kids need to go to their grandma's, but otherwise I'll go. But you got to blow it up.
Hey, if you know when it's gonna blow up, please let me know. I'll go buy some beachfront property in Arizona.
No, you're growing too. It's time. We gotta go. Our time has come.
You're saying I should start looking at loan applications right now. Wow, Nicole Jurgens, Nostradamus.
Yeah.
By the way, we all better be careful, because you predicted 2020's nonsense. So if you're predicting like an asteroid coming, everybody run.
But I also predicted that 2021 was going to be better, and it really
you blew that one.
So
I'm
50-50. I'm 50-50.
When you're 50-50 and there's only two options, though, you're kind of like 0%.
It's like 100%. It's like,
you're actually pretty bad. Yeah, you know what? I needed to hear that. Yeah, that's right. Never mind. We're all fine, people. We're fine.
Well, I'm glad. I hope that you feel a little bit better today. I think that collectively we all need to take a deep breath and start moving forward with our lives. And
Let's move forward.
let's move forward. Let's
Let's
get
just move
past it.
forward.
Let's just do it. Just do it.
I think we need to start looking at our village and where it's going to be.
I'm 100% on board with that. I think next
Every
time
day
we
I'm a
should
little bit more like, yeah.
see that. You see that? I wanted to do this March 13th, 2020. I'm ready.
Well, it's
Get the fuck
September,
outta here.
whatever the hell. Or no, it's October. It's October right now.
2021.
And I'm like, let's go ahead and do it. Like,
So
I think we probably should find a place that's super cheap, maybe like Alabama, Mississippi, you know.
I think yes, or like I was thinking like West Virginia or Kentucky, somewhere over there. And we
all
should
the
talk about
places
this
where
next
I
time.
wouldn't feel safe.
We're gonna be in a village. Like you're gonna be surrounded by everybody you love. Like what do we don't care about anybody else? Like
So you,
your
Esther,
mom, your
she ain't
kids.
coming. They have to come.
Your mom's coming.
Yeah. So our
Francis,
village
you're
right now-
coming. So start
I
planning.
don't. My mom would be like, "Tell your friend I'm not coming."
Does
I
she
like my
want to
apartment.
live the rest of her existence in utopia? Then she better.
I'll talk to her about it. Shout out to Francis Moore. Hey, mom, you're beautiful.
Okay, so maybe next week we'll talk about again. Let's talk about building our village, like getting back to the skills that we need in life again. I think we need to go back and reassess that. Let's do that next
By the
week.
way, you know The Walking Dead is filmed in the Atlanta suburbs, so we'll be right in the area of where the
Perfect.
zombie apocalypse is actually going to take place.
Perfect. I'm ready.
Just saying.
All right.
All right.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.